welcome to my stream. Here's your origins. I'm back. Just gonna do a quick video, real quick, of a little bit of my thoughts on a book series, a lit RPG called The Primal Hunter by Zogarth. I've read all 8 of his books, or I should say, I listened to all 8 of his books. I did this all on Audible. As you can see right here, this is my audio library, and The Primal Hunter LitRPG. It's by Zogarth. This is book 1. Is this one? I have gone through each and every one of these, 1 through 8, and let's say I fucking loved every single one of them. The first one really got me invested in this world, in the main character, and I'm having a freaking. I started. This is just recently that I actually got into lit RPGs. Usually I just listen to like fantasy and stuff like that. As you know, I'm a fantasy writer myself, but I really I am a big RPG fan. I'm a big, all kinds of game, and so getting into this book series was freaking awesome. I think Zogarth is actually a really good writer. I think this series so far has been really good. It's not over. His book 8 is not the end. There's probably a lot more coming out. These are all that's on Audible right now that I could find from him, but I'm waiting to see what he does next, and I'm pretty excited to see where he takes this book, because it's pretty cool. Pretty much the main character's name is Jake, and he's pretty much a nobody his whole life. He's kind of just he's pretty much an accountant kind of person. And then the world gets changed. And as you know, a lot of these lit RPG, a system activates, and then the Earth gets taken into a multiverse, a universal thing where now they're part of the universe, and they got to learn, they get sucked into what's called, what do you call it? Introduction, kind of like a dungeon / training ground where they have to learn what's going on. They have to pick a class, they have to pick a job, they have to pick, what they're going to do, how they're going to fight, stuff like that. So he's an archer. He liked archery before, so now he decides to pick an archery class. But he doesn't stick to just archery. He does all kinds of stuff. Later on, he'll become an alchemist. And then he meets a god. Well, I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I don't want to spoil anything, but the god is fucking awesome. I am actually really a fan of this character, and I'm a fan of the person he meets. I'm not going to spoil anything in this books, but pretty much it's his travel as he learns how to deal with the multiverse, and then he realizes that he's not just a nobody in this new reality, as I should say, his new reality. He finds that he actually enjoys it more than he ever did prior to the integration, and now he is really trying to find his full self, because in this thing, is the higher level you go, the higher class you go. There's ranks, there's like F grade, E grade, and there's all the way up to S grade. And after your S grade, you can, if you do enough and you've evolved enough, you can become a god. There's lots of gods in this universe, and each god has like their own kind of domain, their own kind of purpose. And he, from the very beginning, Jake is like, I'm going to be a god. I'm going to be a god of gods. I'm going to be better than the gods. And so he's like, he's really out there. I'm really having fun reading listening to these books. I'm hoping that the ninth book will be coming out soon. I got to look up and see when he's got his 9th book coming. He might already have it on like physical. I got to look that up and see if he's got like a physical copies. I need to get the physical copies of these books too, because I'm really enjoying it. My first ones I've ever read, though, was He Who Fights with Monsters. There's 10 of those. I've read all those. That's not by Zogarth, though. It's by Shirtaloon. But yeah, The Zogarth books are really, really good. And if you're looking for a new, RPG book or some kind of freaking fantasy book where people level up, they have some fun. Especially if you never read one of them before, I really suggest you get the Primal Hunter as one of your first ones, because this is literally my second only LitRPG series that I've gone through, and I fucking love it. I'm looking for a next series I'm going to get into, because I've listened to all the He Who Fights with Monsters so far and all the Primal Hunters. And I'm going to, I don't know yet. If you have suggestions, please leave in the comments, especially if you're new or if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Like, share this video. Hopefully I can find another, series that are really good. If I can find one that I'm like really, really into, there's a couple that look all right. That I've been looking into, but I haven't picked one yet. But yeah, so the Primal Hunter is 8 books. The characters are really fucking cool. All the characters, I've fallen in love with all the different characters. There's a couple different ones that are really cool. There's a girl who like fucking beats the shit out of things with her fists, and she belongs to a different faction, because there's a bunch of as I said, there's a bunch of gods in this universe. There's also factions. And some of the gods all belong to certain factions. And then there's the primals, which are primal gods, like the first gods that ever, became from the system. And so you're going to meet a lot of different characters. Some are really hilarious. I think Jake is one of the funniest dudes out there. And how he's like, his character is very nonchalant. Like, he doesn't give a crap about rank. He doesn't give a crap. He's got this bloodline that also helps him. There's things called bloodlines in the book. I'm not going to spoil too much about it, but pretty much his allows him to be in the presence of others and not give a shit. So he stand before gods and be like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And they're like, "Hi." Hey, aren't you supposed to be like bowing and kneeling and groveling before me? He's like, "Fuck that." Jake's the kind of guy you almost, I'd be friends with. I would go to get drinks with. Fucking, stuff like that. That's the kind of character Jake is. And a lot of the characters, actually. So you'll enjoy this. I think, if other things, but, whatever. So I'm giving this a very positive, for a book, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. This has everything I ever could want about, a fantasy book. It's got cool alien creatures, especially it's not even just it's got sci-fi stuff to it, because there's like portals of the worlds. There's, different creatures, different, animals, like normal animals become like super beasts and all kinds of stuff in this book. The earth gets changed. It gets like freaking, yeah, I'm not going to spoil too much. I don't want to spoil anything, because I really want you guys to go out there and get his books, because they're freaking awesome. All right, but I'm almost out of time, so I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes. I got 1 minute left. So go see his books. If you haven't seen my books, I am the Myriasphere Origins. I have 1 book out so far, and it's the Myriasphere Origins Darkness Rises. So far, I've been having pretty positive reviews. A lot of people say that my book is pretty good too. And though I need to work on info dumps. But I'm working on that. I am right now on book 2. I'm about 3 chapters written so far. I'm just got to edit those as I keep writing. And I'm going to keep going and hopefully be done with my second book. Hopefully, I don't know, hopefully by the end of summer. But it took me a long time last time to get the first book done. So we'll see. But I'm going to use an actual editor this time, and it'll help. So thank you all for coming. I'll see you guys next time in the Myriasphere. Have a good day.